Hello, I'm Jim Canfield, president of CEO Tools by Aprio and author of CEO Tools 2.0. Here to share with you today another one of our great tools, and we're going to modify this one slightly. Communication cadence is one of our central themes in our tool set, and today I want to talk about communication cadence during a crisis. So let's take a look at it. One of the things that I saw over and over in the case study companies for the book CEO Tools 2.0 was a very reliable, predictable cadence of communication. It went over these traditional points in the year that you'd probably expect, but here's what it looked like. Once a year, the company would set the big picture. And the big picture is, where are we headed? How are we going to get there? And what are we tracking to know when we're on and off track? Every quarter, they would review and communicate the results. Here's where we said we were going. Here's where we've ended up so far. Then once a month, it was a deep dive into the metrics, really making sure they understood where we're ahead, where we're behind, and course correcting along the way. Every week, a deep accountability to actions towards those metrics. In other words, every week, making sure we're taking the appropriate actions and that those actions are getting the results we're looking for to deliver the month. And of course, that delivers the quarter and on to the year. And then every day, a focus on daily results. And this really is about you as the leader. How did I show up as a leader today? Now, that's the normal flow of the communication cadence we recommend inside companies that are highly effective. But what I want to do is think about it in terms of a crisis like the one we're in currently. And what we'll do is we'll turn this communication cadence on its head and look at it this way. Instead of starting at the biggest picture and working our way down, we're going to start with the short term, today. And we're going to look at, how am I showing up as a leader today? Really evaluating every day your leadership and how you're showing up. Ask yourself the question, was I the kind of leader our organization needs today? And if not, guess what? I've got a new choice I can make tomorrow about how to show up. Every week, I'm going to get still very accountable around my deliverables on my metrics, making sure I'm staying on top of the actions we're taking, especially since so many of our people, maybe all of our people, are remote workers these days. Tracking actions towards goal are really important. And the other thing now, weekly, it just becomes essential to track cash flow. Every month, we're going to review and communicate results in terms of metrics. How are we doing? Where are we on track and off track? And quarterly, we're going to communicate results to the whole organization and realign our team very specifically to make sure that everybody is on top of each other's priorities and their own as well. And then we want to still review our big picture at all times to see how our current actions are fitting in. The tools we use to do this, first, on the dailies, a daily huddle or a daily message. Normally your team and your organization may not need to hear from you every day, but during a crisis, it's really important, especially as we have so many who are remote. If you think you're too big to do that or have too many people and they're too far flung, I was in Springfield, Missouri with the CEO of a trucking company, 3,500 employees. They figured out a way to do a daily voicemail that goes out to every single person. It's short, but it gets a message across directly from the CEO. And then our leadership assessment. How am I doing as a leader? Was I the kind of leader we needed today? And this isn't about beating yourself up or patting yourself on the back. It's merely an alignment to say, what kind of leader does my organization need now? And am I living and delivering in that way? Every week, review our KPIs in detail. Make sure the actions that we're taking are delivering those key metrics, and cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Every week, we're going to true up our actual cash flow and then reforecast for the next up to 13 weeks. If you want our 13-week cash flow tool, I'll give you an email address at the end of this presentation, and you can send me a note. By the way, for any of these tools, send me a note. Walk the four corners. Just a reminder that even though we can't physically walk the four corners like we did in the past, we can do it remotely. Check in with the key people in your organization. Ask them how it's going. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them what we could be doing better. That'll build trust in the organization. Ask questions. How are they doing? How are we doing? And what can we do better? Then every month, review metrics in detail. Where are we on track and off track? Where do we need to course correct? Also, that monthly leadership letter, we've got a whole video series on that. Happy to send you that format as well. A message from you as the leader that says, here's where we said we were going, here's what's actually happened, recognizing a few key people in terms of results and alignment, and then articulating where we're going next. And then a one-on-one, making sure that you're keeping up your one-on-one communications with your direct report. Our coaching tool is a great way to do that, and that's available to you as well. Once a quarter, at the end of the quarter, we want to use the quarterly priority manager to align the team around their top priorities and to share those priorities with each other so that we become not just a group of strong individual contributors, but a highly interdependent team who really starts to function well together. Deliver the strategic business review. Let everybody know how we're doing, anything that's off track, where we're seeing some challenges, and ask for their help to resolve some of those challenges or contribute to the solutions to those challenges. And then last, always going back, especially in times of crisis, I'm going to say, queue up how you're doing currently versus what you'd anticipated for the year. If a rewrite or a reforecast or a redirection needs to be done, be the first one to do it. Because if you don't change the narrative to fit changing conditions, they will. Finally, I'll just say any of the tools I mentioned are available to you. If you'd like to send me an email to jim.canfield@CEO Tools, I'm happy to send them to you. Happy to discuss any of the tools that we talked about or talk about how those tools might fit into your organization like they do in so many of our Aprio clients and our CEO Tool clients. Until next time, thank you so much.